Hello and welcome to Heavenly album covers. Right there on top of a bus, a toy bus, and right underneath a glittery cell phone case. And this is Heavenly album covers. We are going to shrink wrap this album that's hidden behind all this stuff in a few moments. We also are going to play this album, at least parts of it, for the first time probably in very many decades. I doubt if this album has ever been out of its casing and its shrink wrap, but we are going to take off the shrink wrap and play it, which is a first here. I don't think we've ever de-shrink wrapped anything and played the record on the same episode. So let's get to it. Let's remove the glittery iPhone case and the box of pastel crayon things. Let's remove the little bus and this USB cord. And here's an album by Gary ABEL. It's on Renee Records, and the album title is Tired of Being Poor. You can see the shrink wrap here, and it has a 99-cent price tag from 2009. So that was the last time it had a price tag before I bought it yesterday. This album also has a mark right in the middle of Gary ABEL's coveralls here. I'm not sure what that means. And let's de-shrink this. We must be very careful here. And sometimes you can get parts of your hand stuck in the shrink wrap, and it's really hard to get it out because it's like one of those Chinese finger traps. You just can't get it out. But here we go. We broke the seal. This cover hasn't felt real oxygen in probably 4 decades, and that's Gary ABEL. And I wonder if Gary ABEL was very able. But Gary spells his last name ABEL. I don't know if he's still around. It was a little bit tricky to find out anything about this album. It is on Renee Records, and I tried to search the name Gary ABEL. I didn't find anything, and then I found out that this album is generally listed as having no artist name on it. But now we know we can put Gary ABEL's name on this album, which has the title Tired of Being Poor. I was very much drawn to this title, and also I was drawn to the sparse nature of this album cover. If I can get the light out of the way, I think I'll just leave it like that because there's nothing much underneath. And here's Gary ABEL, who probably was very able, and he's wearing a kind of a farm hat, cowboy hat. He's got a plaid long sleeve shirt on. He's wearing patched up coveralls. He's got a classic red bandana in his pocket. You can't really see his shoes, but his right foot is covered up with some kind of moss or weeds, and he's standing between red plywood of a house and this dark, kind of frightening area over here, which is very foreboding. You can see the little stereo insignia up here, which is perfect. This lettering is just outrageously excellent and great. The Renee Records text is up here in the corner. Renee Records put out some great albums with some great album covers, and I'm going to look more into that on another day and time. But here's Gary ABEL. I have no idea what this album sounds like. I assume it's kind of... The flip side has a photograph, an aerial photograph, or a drone photograph taken in 1983 when drones were not even invented yet, but here we have a photograph, probably of Nebraska, some farmland in Nebraska. Renee Records was based in Nebraska, and Gary ABEL, who did this album, was located in Nebraska. And this album is dedicated to someone named Stuart ABEL. I don't know if that's his dad. Maybe we can find out. But there's a great quote up here that says, this album was made possible partially through the many contributions from garage sales, mowing lawns, paper routes, playing at broken down bars, professional odd jobs, and the cashing in of over 28 years of green stamps of Gary ABEL. And it features these following selections. The title track, Tired of Being Poor, Hollywood and Vine, Into My Life, Lovin' Pickin' Butts, it's a great title, Downtown Lady, Honey Lady, Missin' You, Love's Gone, and the last song is Favorite Song. And all of these compositions are by Gary ABEL. I'm not sure why nobody else figured out that Gary ABEL recorded this album, because his name is all over the liner notes on the back. And great photo. There's Gary ABEL, or perhaps it was pronounced Gary ABEL. So let's actually play this. Let's look at the label first. And it's a kind of a maroon dark with silver lettering, heavenly cheap record player. And let's listen. Here's Gary ABEL, the first song.
And his hair cut short and his clothes hanging down, with his cowboy boots and his shoe on them. He was typical country boy.
I had the volume down when I first put this on. Let's try something else here.
I walked up to her and gave her a smile. I said, I'd like to be with you for a while. She said, hold on, mister, hold on there just now. She said, I'm not the fan.
It's like kind of honky-tonk Nebraska music.
My love's gone for me and you. So when you're down now and you're feeling blue, here's a little something you can do. Sing your favorite song, chase all the blues away. Because music has a magical way.
So Gary ABEL's voice is great, pretty commercial, really. He sounds really professional and not like someone who... I'm really impressed, and I will reinvestigate the vinyl aspect of this album. Probably this weekend I'll put it on and watch other people drink beer. And so this is Gary ABEL, also known as Gary ABEL, who was very able to record a really nice sounding album, and it has a very moody but reasonable album cover.